Do you ever feel like you're just not in the driver's seat of your own life? Like things are just happening to you? Well, what if I told you you could grab the wheel? That's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to show you how to literally reprogram your own mind and take total control of your future. And it all boils down to 4 powerful lessons. Ready? Let's get into it.
Okay, let's start with the single most important idea you need to grasp. Seriously, this is it. Your life is controlled by your mind. Everything you've ever done, everything you're ever gonna do, it all starts right up here. It's the ultimate control center.
And what that means is, your future, it's not defined by where you came from, not by your background or the circumstances you were born into.
And you know what? It's not defined by your past either. All those mistakes or failures, they don't have the final say.
And it's absolutely 100% not about luck. Nope. The one thing, the only thing that truly dictates where you're headed is your mind.
And this is the really exciting part. Your mind isn't some fixed piece of hardware. Think of it like software. And what can you do with software? You can update it. You can go in there, debug the old code that's not working, delete those negative patterns, and install a brand new operating system for your life. How cool is that?
All right, so here's the game plan for today. First, we'll talk about why you are the programmer. Then we'll jump straight into the 4 lessons: how to destroy limiting beliefs, how to focus on opportunity, build habits for success, and finally, how to purify your environment.
So, how does this whole programmer thing work? Well, think of it like a domino effect, a chain reaction. It starts with a thought. That thought sparks an action. You repeat that action enough, and bam, it becomes a habit. Those habits, they create your results. And your results, well, they literally build your future. It's this powerful sequence running 24/7, and it all kicks off with just a single thought.
Okay, so with that in mind, let's dive into lesson 1. To really reprogram your mind, you first have to find those hidden scripts. You know, the invisible code that's been holding you back.
So, what is a limiting belief anyway? It's basically a thought you've played on repeat so many times in your head that you've started to believe it's true. It's that little nagging voice that whispers things like, "I'm not smart enough," or "I always fail." But here's the thing you have to remember. Those aren't facts. They're just old, buggy programming. And the best part? You can write brand new code. And what's so great is that there's a simple 4-step process to do this. First, you just got to become aware of it. Listen for that inner voice. Second, question it. Ask yourself, is this really 100% true? Third, you replace it. You consciously install a new, empowering belief. And finally, and this is key, you take action. You take small steps to create new evidence that proves the old belief was a lie all along.
Here's a perfect example of what that looks like in practice. Let's say your old belief is, "I always fail." You're going to replace that with something like, "I grow from every single experience." You feel the difference? It's huge, right? One of them is a dead end. The other one opens up this whole world of learning and growth.
So the bottom line for this lesson is really simple. You are not limited by your ability. You are only limited by your belief. Change that belief and you unlock your real potential. All right, so once you start tackling those old beliefs, the next step is to retrain your focus. This brings us to lesson 2, and it starts with a simple question. What is your mind actually trained to see? Yeah, really think about this for a second. When a challenge pops up, where does your mind go automatically? Does it jump to all the reasons this is going to be hard, why you'll probably fail? Or does it immediately start searching for a way through, a way to win? Because your default setting here, it pretty much determines your destiny. It really comes down to the questions you ask yourself. They literally program your brain's response. If you ask, why is this so hard? Your brain is just going to list off all the reasons it's hard, basically a bunch of excuses. But if you ask, okay, how can I make this work? Your brain switches gears and goes into full-on creative problem-solving mode. So, think of this as your new training regimen for your mind. Step 1, always ask how, not why. Step 2, reframe challenges. See them as training, like a workout for your resilience muscle. Step 3, limit the negative input. You got to protect your mental space. And step 4, practice gratitude. It's like flipping a switch that shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible.
All right, on to lesson 3. This is all about building success habits. Because let's be real, motivation comes and goes. This is about building the systems that carry you to your goals, especially on those days when you just don't feel like it.
I love this quote. You do not rise to your goals, you fall to your habits. It's so true. Having big goals is awesome, but it's your daily habits that actually get you there. Success isn't about some huge heroic effort. It's about the small, consistent things you do day in and day out. So what do those habits look like? Here's a great checklist. Things like controlling your morning, spending just 20 minutes learning something new, practicing a little self-discipline. See, none of these are massive, earth-shattering changes. They are small, daily actions that, when you stack them up over time, will completely rewire your brain for success.
Okay, we're at our final lesson. Lesson 4, purify your environment. Think about it this way. You can have the most powerful, cutting-edge software in the world, but if you're plugging it into a virus-infected network, it's not going to work right. Your environment, that's your network.
So you have to ask yourself, is your environment programming you for success? Or is it programming you for excuses? I mean, everything, the people you talk to, the stuff you watch and read, the conversations you have, it's all input. It's all code. Is that code building you up, or is it dragging you down?
This is where you have to become a ruthless curator of your own world. Identify who and what brings you down. Unfollow the negative accounts, mute the gossip, step away from the constant complaining. And instead, you have to actively choose your circle. Find mentors, find peers who are ambitious. Surround yourself with things that fuel your growth.
Ultimately, this is the choice right here. Are you being programmed for doubt, which leads to hesitation, excuses, and fear? Or are you being programmed for growth, which leads to discipline, belief, rising to the occasion, and taking action?
So it really all comes down to this simple truth. You are the programmer. You're the one sitting at the keyboard. Every thought you have, every action you take, every choice you make, it's another line of code in the story of your life. So the only question left is, what will you write today?